take a holiday where you did your own self-drive and you tackled the challenge of driving on the left side of the road. Ireland is a really, really good place to do this. It's actually one of the places I learned, because really the only way you learn is by jumping into it. But Ireland is a relatively small island, and the only real big city is Dublin, where you have like multiple lanes of traffic and so on. But the rest of Ireland is pretty small. There's not a lot of people necessarily, and the roads, at least when I've been here in the fall, are pretty quiet. That's one of the things I love about the Wild Atlantic Way is it's these really tiny little farm roads that are not traveled very much. So it's a great place to kind of learn to do your own self-drive on the left side. That was the joy of my learning. I loved the back farm roads. Now, a couple things. Even though the roads are very narrow, and lots of times you're going to have to get way over to the side and stop and let someone by or whatever. So if you're going to rent a car, rent a small car. It will make your life so much easier on these narrow roads. However, if you're also going to do that, then also know that small cars are really, really small in Europe, and you're going to want to pack with that in mind. So no huge suitcases. In fact, I always say kind of soft-sided suitcases, especially if you've got multiple people in a small car. So just keep those things in mind. The one thing you have to watch out for, of course, on these small little tiny narrow farm roads is sheep and occasionally cattle, but mainly sheep. Lots of times the sheep are out roaming, which also makes it really fun. But you'll mainly meet sheep and tractors and maybe a couple other cars on these small roads. So once again, great place to learn. Also on the larger roads, they're marked really well. The actual road surfaces are really good. People are quite nice. I mean, granted, the locals drive at a much, much higher speed, and that's great for them, but they don't pressure you, and they'll just go around you when they need to. I think they are used to the fact that they get a lot of visitors here in Ireland and are fairly patient with them. So also it's one of the reasons why it's nice to learn how to drive on the left here. The one thing I would say about learning to drive on the left is have a good navigator. I actually did this the first time solo, and it was challenging. But if you have a good navigator that can remind you where you need to be, that's really helpful. It's a team effort the first day or two, I would say, of just making sure that you're in the right place, etc. Kind of another set of eyes, that always helps. Another thing I would highly recommend is bring a phone holder that you can put in the rental car easily, like one of those that you can put in the vents maybe, because that's pretty key for your directions. But I promise you, after about a day or two, it will become normal. And this is how your brain will start to think, which is a really cool feeling when you get it. And I can guarantee you, when you do it and you finish your vacation, it will be one of the best vacations you ever had, because you overcame this huge kind of fun challenge, and you will no longer ever be hindered about renting a car in another country where they drive on the other side.